Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Oklahoma Today podcast. I'm your host, Ben Lucian, and you can go ahead and cancel that trip to Vegas because we are bringing world-class entertainment to the Sooner State. Cirque du Soleil is bringing their world-renowned OVO show to Oklahoma City's Paycom Center September 11th through the 14th. It's like A Bug's Life meets Barnum and Bailey. It's spectacular, and we are bringing on Janie Mallet, the publicist and spokesperson for the show. She's going to tell us all about what to expect. We'll hear about that in just a second, but first a friendly reminder to please hit subscribe if you've not already done so. We're no tumbling acrobats, but I happen to think we're pretty entertaining and worth a follow. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and hear more about Cirque du Soleil.
All right, so I couldn't be more thrilled because we have a very special guest today. One of the greatest brands in entertainment is coming back to Oklahoma City. I think it's been 8 or 10 years, Janie, since Cirque du Soleil was in Oklahoma City. Is that right?
Oh, I'll have to check exactly when, but if I know that for our show, it definitely is going to be a first to
for
present.
OVO. That's what we're talking about today. And the world-renowned show from Cirque du Soleil, OVO, it was in Oklahoma City in 2017, and now it's back, right, Janie?
Exactly. And you know what? It's back, but also, we are constantly working on the show.
And better than ever. Yeah.
Exactly. Quite super excited because we actually went through like a whole restaging that I can tell you about. So it is the same show, the same essence of the show, but in a completely new format in a way.
Right. Well, what can you tell me? I know the show has changed, but what is sort of the concept of the show? It's bug related, right?
Yes. Yep, it's a bug show. So OVO, and it's spelled like that, as you see behind me. OVO means egg in Portuguese.
Right.
And the show was created in 2009. So it goes back like a while, 16 years on the road full time. And the idea is basically it's inspired by Brazil. So OVO means egg in Portuguese. The show director is from Brazil. The musical composer is from Brazil. And we really follow these insects. It's a show about bugs. So the 53 artists that you'll see on stage are all different types of colorful, impressive, acrobatic bugs. And we follow the story of the blue fly that you see here, and he's backpacking with an egg on his back and meets this new colony of insects. And basically it's how do they interact? Who is some of them are skeptical about what is this egg? What is happening? He falls in love with the ladybug. So there's a whole through line there. There are two different species, so they don't really speak the same language. And it's definitely, you can meet it and look at it the way you want, but there's definitely a show about friendship, inclusion, diversity. How do we go one towards another? There's altercations with the chief, and really it's an accessible show because it's a simple story like that, but through it all, we weave all these high world-class acrobatics and live music and video projections and just all of these things married together to create a really immersive experience.
Yes. And so a lot of insects, a lot of bugs are known for how they change throughout life through metamorphosis. And likewise, the OVO show has changed, evolved, metamorphosized over the years. So if people who saw it in 2017, what is different this time around?
Oh my gosh, yes. So in 2009, we created the show, and we first created it as a big top show. So if you're familiar with Cirque du Soleil, we have big top shows that are usually set up to stay in a city for 2 or 3 months. So they come up with a big tent and they stay there for a long time. In 2016, we changed it to become an arena show. So arenas is where we'll come through different cities, like the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, and we set up everything inside the arena. And we travel quite fast. We travel every single week to a different city or a different country. And then we had the pandemic, so live entertainment was paused for a while. So we came back with a third version of the show, and now we just went through a whole restaging just a few months ago. So we're kind of in a way, and it's like version 4.0 of this show. we do keep the essence of the show. So definitely the vibrancy, the colors, that warmth from Brazil, that still remains. The story of the bugs and the day in the life of insects, that remains. But we've changed recently the whole stage. Basically, after 15 years around the world, full time, year round, we needed to give a little bit of love to our stage. So it started from that, and that project evolved with a new set design, with new large flowers and plants and leaves and pieces to really kind of scale you down to the size of an ant, to
Yes.
give that impression even as you come into the audience and to the arena and in the seats. We added 3 new acts. So that means also new costumes because we have new bugs, new music, we have new clown pieces, new choreographies. So really a lot has changed. A big, I like to say like it's like a breath of fresh air for the performers that are on stage, but also for the audience. If you've seen it a few years ago, definitely you're in for a treat and some new surprises.
Yes. Now, Janie, we sort of jumped right into the interview. I didn't really give you a chance to introduce yourself properly. So you work specifically with the tour, the OVO tour, is that right?
Yes. So on tour, we're 100 people from 25 nationalities. That's the OVO family. That's what we travel around the world together to bring this show. So that includes the 53 artists on stage. But if you look at that, it's basically one on stage for one backstage. So we have the artists and the artistic team, and we have the technicians. And outside of that, we have a third branch that's called tour management office. So that's my team. I'm part of that group, and we look at after every logistics basically to bring on the show. May it be transportation, lodging, immigration, visas, media relations. All of that is part of the tour management office of OVO. So yep, I travel full time with the show. It's these are my colleagues, all these bugs. and
Yeah.
and a day at the office includes changing because we change city every week. So it changes, the office look changes from week to week, and sometimes it's these porters that are lifting that hundreds and
Yeah.
hundreds of pounds of weights, and these contortionists that
They're
are
as
bending in four.
impressive in the show as anyone else, you know?
Yeah, backstage, it's quite
Yeah.
impressive. I'm not sure that I'm impressive, but I know that the area backstage is definitely impressive.
Right, right. And speaking of changing cities, traveling around, you
Yeah.
all actually were in town, I think this past June. You
Yes.
did a halftime performance at the NBA Finals, right?
Yes. Yes, it was game five. It was my personal. I've been at the company at Cirque du Soleil traveling with shows for 8.5 years now. It was my first NBA finals
Ah,
performance. So it was quite
very
exciting. We
nice.
brought our dragonflies. So in the show, our dragonfly is a hand balancer. And game five at the Paycom Center. And it was the finals of the NBA. I had heard that it was Loud City for a reason, that was the nickname, and the Thunder. And oh my, was it ever fun to see the city, to see that support. All the shops had, OKC, Go Thunder, and really experiencing it with our artists, because I was there to accompany them. It was just incredible. I came back and I told the tour, I was like, this is the nickname of the city, and just wait,
Yeah,
because it's
right,
really, that energy was something. It was a lot of fun. What a moment. So I can't wait to be there again in
right.
September.
I guess you encourage the Loud City fans to show up for the OVO when it comes to town.
Oh yes, and I still have the t-shirt I brought back, because you're into the seats and they give you t-shirt. I brought the t-shirt. I brought an extra one.
Yes.
So we're prepared as well to come and for this
Yeah.
meeting.
Um, what kind of inspiration, going back to the OVO concept, what kind of inspiration do insects, bugs, these little critters provide, I guess like for the performers? Because if you look at the
Yeah.
bugs, I mean, their movements are really interesting and they're so different depending on what bug you're talking about.
Yeah, well, you're touching right on it. So the show director, Deborah Cocker, is from Brazil, and she's always been inspired and interested, fascinated, let's say, by bugs. She's a choreographer. So what you're touching on movement, and that was definitely very important for her. Um, I mentioned that we just went through a restaging. What was super interesting is that 15 years later, we worked with the same team of creators. So the show director, Deborah Cocker, came from Brazil and met with all of our artists. The musical composer was there with us for a month and a half and created new music. The costume designer from 15 years ago, Lise Vandal, created the new costume. So it was a unique moment, I think, to revisit a show 15 years later, a show that's been living around the world and has evolved for these creators to come back together. And the idea of the movement and finding a quality of movement, a quality of a personality for each species of insect is definitely something that Deborah Cocker was touching on and gave to our artists to nourish them. Artists, when they come to the show, they all have different paths of how they want to become that bug, and that's what's special, right? Like we're hiring them as professionals. They do what they do in the show, whether they're a contortionist or an aerialist that will be above the ground, or if they're tumblers or trampolinists, or they have a discipline that they've learned either through sports career or through circus schools or through traditional circus. However, we're asking them to do that discipline and to perform their art, but through the lens of a bug, like to be a bug character. So it definitely adds a new layer. It adds a really interesting challenge in some ways.
Yes.
And they'll have a different path. So there's, yes, choreographies, and they work with our artist coaches, our head coach, our artistic director, and our artistic team to really make sure that they are in the right track. But a lot of them will watch videos of actual insects. They have some bug language, so whichever one.
Yeah.
Each of them has their own. They get inspiration from different types. There's real insect sound in the music tracks as well. So all of these little details that possibly the audience doesn't really know when they come and watch the show, but it informs and it nourishes the way that these actors, performers, acrobats, clowns, musicians will come on stage and present the show to you.
Right. It's interesting you touch on all the different backgrounds that they have, because it's really interesting to me how someone finds themselves with the honor of being a Cirque du Soleil performer. Like, what brings people in? Do you scout people? Like, where do they come from? How does that work?
There's a lot of different ways and avenues. So we do have a team, a casting team, basically that works from the Cirque du Soleil headquarters in Montreal, but also around the world. And they do scout events. They'll attend, world championships of different sports like gymnastics. They'll go to festivals like theater festivals, or that happens. We also hold live auditions around the world. These can be like a week-long audition or a few days, and also online, especially nowadays. So we have a whole casting database, and you can go on the website of cirquedusoleil.com and go to the casting page, and artists can submit their videos, their portfolios, their interests, apply on different jobs. That also goes for technicians and staff members. Like that's where you can see what openings we have. But definitely there's different ways to get there, and the stories are so interesting. I do definitely have some artists, and I would even include myself in that, but that have come to the show when they were like 9 or 10 or 11 years old.
Wow.
And something clicked, and they're like, you know what? I want to do this. The dragonfly that I was telling you about that we brought to the NBA 5 game 5, he saw a show when he was 11, and he looked at his mom and he said, I want to do that one day. And then about 10 years later, he was on the stage of OVO and became an artist. So that inspiration, I think, is really good. I remember seeing my first Cirque du Soleil show. I remember I was not an acrobat. That's not what touched me. What touched me was more the fact that there were all these people from around the world working together. That was like the travel and the international component for me. Lasted, and I didn't know that there would be a space for me, a spot for me, as I was not an acrobat, I was not a gymnast. So hopefully that I think that's definitely something that fuels us. There's different ways. There's some that come. Our ladybug comes from traditional circus. She's been performing on stage with her family and parents since she was 7 years old. We have some artists on the show that finished circus school and almost immediately, just a few months later, were were contacted by our team and are now part of our show on OVO, Cirque du Soleil,
Yes.
but we have others that have been, they had other things. They attended multiple auditions. It took a few years for the role to align, for the time to align, for them to be here on stage with us. So
Yes.
definitely multiple ways to get there. I think the bottom line is, work hard, keep going at it, and just believe in your dreams, and it can come true.
The Cirque organization is so impressive. I think it's been around like what, almost 40 years more,
41
something like
years.
that. Yeah.
41 years, yeah. 84 is when we started, and it started very small. It started as the street performers. It was a
Hmm.
small troupe in Quebec, Canada, as street performers, stilt walkers, fire breathers, and the idea behind it was in a way to reinvent circus, to do something else, to not use animals, to really look at how can we think outside the box? What can we do with the human body, the imagination, the artistry? So that thing, that item, that drive, I think is still in our DNA and is what makes us successful still today.
Yes, and clearly you all found the secret to staying power because the ability to sort of do that and keep it fresh for decades. I mean, very impressive.
Yeah, constantly working on the show. We talked about the restaging, but every single day that there's only one show, we're rehearsing on stage, rehearsing backstage. We're working on new tricks and new transitions, on adding some
Hmm.
light, on changing the video projection. So I think that also keeps it fresh for the artists on stage, for the cast and crew that works on the show, and obviously for the audience as well. That's there because there's
Yes.
no show if there's no audience in a way. So that I always say like that there's something magical that happens when the audience meets the show and you're in live entertainment. So the music, the musicians, we have a 7-piece band, they follow what's happening on stage, what's happening in the seats. If audience members laugh longer, they really are with us. So it makes it very engaging as far as an experience.
Right. One thing I have always wondered about Cirque is so these touring performers, they great feats of athleticism.
Yeah.
How do they stay like loose and fit while traveling the world? I mean, it seems like such a challenge.
Yeah. Well, we do hire professionals, so they do know
That's true.
through the years they've learned what they need for their own body and what they do in this show. The realities and the needs of a contortionist is different from a porter, for example. So, contortionists will need a lot more flexibility, stretching, and possibly hand balancing because often it marries that to in that act than a porter who will spend a lot more time in the gym lifting weights because they throw people for a living. So they need to have that strength and build those muscles that would not be, useful for an aerialist, for example. An aerialist will need upper body strength a lot more than a tumbler who needs a lot of power in the legs. So basically, every act, every discipline has a different requirements. We do hire professionals and we have a whole team to accompany them with head coaches and captains. But to answer your question, maybe more precisely, while traveling, we do provide as much as we can what they need at the arena. So that's why we travel with 20 semi trucks to bring everything that we need. So the stage, but also the backstage equipment, the full size gym that we travel with, the catering team and the catering equipment so that they can provide a multitude of different dietary requirements for the porters and for the vegetarian, vegan, whoever, whatever their preferences are, so that their bodies are fueled. And with providing all of that, that's the same week after week. It really helps in maintaining that routine and making sure that they have what they need accessible. And of course, we provide lodging. So yeah, some people do
Yes.
travel with like their own pillows, just because
Yeah.
that changes sometimes if
I
you're
travel with
sensitive
my
to
own
how
pillow.
yeah, if you're sensitive to
I'm a
how you
delicate
sleep.
sleeper though.
Exactly, or eye mask, or a white noise machine, or aromatherapy, or candles. Everybody has like their kind of things that will help them feel at home, or help them feel relaxed, or help them sleep better. And I think that's the key. And it's knowing what do you need to make it
Mhm.
last and be sustainable, traveling full time year round and changing to a new bed every single week.
Yes. You said you all travel with a full-size gym,
Yep.
like
Yes.
in a trailer? Is it assembled? How does that work?
It's all in road cases, so everything's on wheels. So when we arrive, so when we're going to arrive at the Paycom Center, we arrive with our 20 semi trucks, and in one day, it's about 12 hours. We unload all the trucks, build the whole stage, build the backstage equipment, set up the dressing rooms, the offices, the catering, the gym. But we do have 100 local stage hands that help us do that in the one day because it's a very well-oiled machine. So it does travel. The gym travels in road cases on wheels because that allows us to move faster. We do have like the benches so that you can lift some weights, all the free weights, kettlebells, anything that you need to lift weights. We have the whole machine as well to do all the chin up pull-ups and all of that. We have a Pilates reformer machine. We have some cardio equipment like a bike, everything that they need for the artists to do their warm-up, their training, their conditioning, strength and flexibility. And also backstage, we have a whole setup to be able to rehearse and train all the acrobatic equipment, the circus
Mm.
disciplines, even when the stage is busy or when the show's happening.
Right. So when you all arrive at an arena, you really set up shop. You're there. You're
We
there
kind
to
of take
stay.
over.
Yeah.
We don't travel light. Everywhere backstage, it's all road cases, and it's all uh, what we need to put the fixtures and to put the equipment and the stage and the wall. So yes, we do. It's over 1,000 road cases that we travel with.
Yes.
So
Right.
we take a bit of space.
You mentioned we talked about how you all were able to come down for the halftime show at the Thunder. I'm
Mhm.
curious, what is your take? Do you think that maybe with some practice, some NBA players might be able to participate in Cirque, or is it just a different kind of athleticism? What do you think?
I think what we've had through the years had like encounters with sports team or sports members, and um, it's always fun because they're professionals at what they do. Of course, they spend so many hours and they train. So a lot of the skills can transfer in certain ways, as in body awareness and sometimes the strength or the cardio or the stamina, depending on what they do. But of course, there's a lot of differences. You might be very
Right.
good at like running around a basketball court, but that does not mean that you can stand on one hand and balance yourself. So there's some skills that take years. We're talking about acrobats and artists that have been doing this since they were sometimes 3 or 6, 9 years old, and they've been doing that. It's hours and hours to perfect this very acute discipline. So some skills may transfer, and there's definitely either like the performance skills or the physical component that they can touch on, but then some others they would need a bit of practice before they can actually compare,
Yes. You
and vice versa.
know,
I wouldn't ask any of our artists to like throw a
now
hole
that
in
would
one
be
or like
interesting.
a basket. Oh, it definitely would, and I'm sure that they would
Yes.
probably like climb on each other's shoulders and then do it
Uh-huh.
in a acrobatic way.
What I would like to see, I would like to see the circus performers do a just an extravagant hide and go seek. I think that would be really entertaining. They could contort themselves into all kinds of spaces, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of them, and then our porter, but the porters who exactly they're quite big guys with strong muscles. They might not be so great at hiding
That's true. Maybe
as
they're the
easily.
seekers. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, we're going to wrap up here in a second. We talked about how Cirque's been around for so many decades. What do you think the future holds for Cirque? What kinds of performances, or are there anything new that we'll see in the future?
Oh, we're constantly looking at innovation and looking at what's happening, how are the crowds reacting. So I think that there's definitely a lot that's in the works and looking at what will live entertainment become. So that I think it could be so many avenues. I still do believe firmly, like that's my personal beliefs, that there's something magical happening with live entertainment. Like, yes, we're now in a society where there's screens and AI and all of that, but there's
Right.
something very unique to a live experience and a live experience lived and shared with others. There's thousands of people in the arena watching every single show at the same time as you are. And everybody sees it through different eyes and different lenses. There's a 3-year-old that will have a different experience than if you're 93-year-old. And this show is really suitable for all ages. And that, to me, the reaction, the laughter from all these different points of views, it creates a unique experience every single night. And the artists, they feed off that reaction. They feed off the energy in the seats. So I do believe, and I think that there's something that will never be replaced from that moment. And for OVO, if I talk about this show particularly, we just went through that restaging, so definitely we're gearing up for the next few years. These are the last few weeks in the United States for this tour before we continue on to going like into Mexico and overseas to Europe. So definitely enjoying these moments in North America, and can't wait to see you in the season. Can't wait to see you in the for this journey, this 2-hour journey into the ecosystem of OVO, where you can forget about your worries and forget about real life for a moment, and get that inner child activated and so hopefully inspired.
Yes, exactly. Well, Janie, I know we've kept you a little longer than we were planning, so thanks for sticking around. Tickets are on sale now, and I am thrilled to say that because of a partnership with you all, we are able to offer a ticket giveaway with some of our followers. So if you're watching, stay tuned. You'll probably see something on social media about that. But Janie, yes, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been a real pleasure. It's been fun. And seriously, we all look forward to seeing you at the Paycom Center September 11th through September 14th. It's a short run. You're right. So it's basically we have multiple shows on the weekend, and we're going to be there soon in Oklahoma City. Can't wait to hear the Loud City again.
Yes, I'm going to try to go. My birthday is September 7th, so it's right in the birthday window, Come
celebrate with us. A birthday week. Birthday week at OVO.
But you couldn't ask for anything better. Janie, thank you so much for joining us.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'm going now. That interview sold me on that. Have any of you all witnessed a Cirque du Soleil event before?
No, but I would really love to go.
I would like to go too.
Yes.
I was supposed to go, but then my brother didn't actually buy me a ticket. So,
Greg.
I saw one of their shows in Vegas. It was really, really, really
Which
good.
one did you go to?
I don't remember what it was called. It was like the Cirque du Soleil After Dark.
Oh,
so it's the one that starts at midnight. Yeah. It was really, really cool though. Although I'll say like,
risque.
like there were definitely some people there who didn't understand what it was. They thought it was just a regular Cirque du Soleil show, and they were kind of offended. So if you go to Vegas and you get tickets for a Cirque du Soleil show and it starts at midnight, just check your sensibilities at the door. It's nothing terrible.
Yeah,
it's Las Vegas, and it's,
Well, I appreciate how they have, they always bring new spins to the entertainment.
It was amazing, though. It was really, really, really good. The athleticism is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I think this one is all about like a bug kingdom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. A ladybug falls in love.
Yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Things happen in between the start and the end.
That's usually how they go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So for people who regularly watch the show, you already know us. But if you're new, we've got Carly, Megan, and Nate here. This is the OKT magazine team. And this is the part of the show called Question of the Week. And, Cirque du Soleil is coming to town. That's really exciting. And it got me thinking, what show or performance in Oklahoma did you see that was amazing, that wowed you? And it's open to interpretation here. If you want to go like music, if you want to go, a play or any kind of performance or show, that's an acceptable answer. So Editor-in-Chief Nathan Gunner, what about you?
Boy, I have seen so much live music and so many performances in Oklahoma that it's hard to pick. It's
hard
really
to remember.
It's hard to remember them all. I was gonna say, much less pick one.
Right?
Some of I can think of a couple that stick with me. The John Fulbright from the Ground Up, that album release show at the Blue Door in 2012 stands out in my mind, as do a lot of shows at the Blue Door. that I've seen over the years. Everybody from people I know to people like Patty Griffin and David Wilcox and Robin Hitchcock last year. That really is a really, really special place. So there's a lot of things I could say there. There was a thing in, I think, the fall of 2008. There was a hurricane in the Gulf, and it relocated a show here that was Robert Plant and Alison Krauss.
Yes.
Were at the zoo, and that was unbelievable. That was so good. I was also at the zoo for the Flaming Lips UFOs at the Zoo, the famous UFOs at the Zoo tour. I was
There's several Flaming Lips shows that could be an answer.
Yeah, and all those old New Year's Eve shows they used to do, those were always a lot of fun. They're always a kick to see live. So, gosh, and then Chris Stapleton at Kane's Ballroom right before he broke out huge. Yeah. That was incredible. I've seen a lot. Oh, and then last year or 2 years ago, this was really cool when Reba's opened. Yes. And she did an acoustic set.
Ooh, that's special.
For like 200 people, and I was on the balcony like right above her.
Yeah.
Looking down.
That's really tough.
Yeah, and then Dino and Brian texted me like, we're leaving. And I like they were my ride and I had to go. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
They were like, we're tired, we want to go. And I was like, what is wrong with you? But then I had to leave. Wow. Yeah. So, but it was a really, really cool.
Stupid TV.
I know.
Yeah,
it was just
right?
like, are you kidding? I know. I was so disappointed, but it was a really, really cool show to see. Yeah, that was a neat moment. So yeah, there's a lot.
Well, I'm sure Dino's seen it all. So he's...
Yeah, that guy has seen everything. He didn't care, but I thought it was really cool.
Right. Well, that was awesome. And those were some great answers. Megan, what about you?
You know, I saw a really good show years ago at the Crystal Diamond Ballroom.
Yes, you know.
I'm downgrading it. Yes, I went to the Diamond Ballroom and saw TV on the radio. And
so good.
That was amazing.
I went to that.
Did you?
I think I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really. I don't remember what year. It was maybe like 2012, 2011. I don't know. It's been a while. And even longer before that, I saw the Walkman at the Opolis, and that was really, really cool. That was like the first concert I ever saw in Oklahoma. And then also, this is a little bit different, but I loved for a period of time, maybe only one time, the Oklahoma City Philharmonic did like a listening at lunch concert or something.
Yeah.
That was
I think
like,
we went to that.
Yeah, we did. And it was like, like 45 minutes. And you just like at lunchtime went and they played all these like samples from like symphonies and different stuff. And it was so relaxed. I felt like so refreshed.
Yeah, I love it's a good use of your lunch hour as a downtown employee. Like I love it when they offer stuff like that.
Free.
Yeah, no, it was free. And I really wish that they would do something like that again. Because it made my, like, I'm
they
still
brought
talking
a lot of
about
people
it.
out for that.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of, like, it was packed in there, with all these people who were like, I just need to get out of my sterile beige office for 45 minutes so that I can experience life.
Yes.
Classical music's good for I think it calms your nervous system.
Yes, it does. I need it. So.
Any tangent, but does anyone listen to classical music while they write?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
It depends on the
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah. What do you listen to when you write?
It depends on what I'm writing. So
Okay.
if when I wrote my barrel racing story, I was listening to Marty Robbins and I
that's
kind of write whatever's like the mood of the piece that I'm writing.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, do you have an answer for our question of the week?
I have two answers because I couldn't choose between the two. One of them is at Diamond Ballroom as well because that's just a great venue to see bands. It was Dragon Force, which is a fantasy-based rock band. They're so much fun, and their music is really good. It's really epic. It's actually it would be good for writing too. I think it'd really pump you up. But the other show that I went to is at Frankie's. There was a Star Trek themed drag show.
That was so
that
fun.
Nathan and I went to. Yeah, it was so much fun. And
oh my gosh, we had the best time.
Roxana Troy performed to Mother Knows Best. Was just like, and I think
that was my favorite part too. Yeah.
Q did Buttons, which is really random and funny. funny if you understand Star Trek at all. But anyway, yeah, we have like I've seen some really amazing drag, like national drag acts, like in Tulsa especially. But we have really, really good drag here too. So yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
And Frankie's does stuff all the time, not Star Trek themed shows.
They had one of those Chapel Roan album release things. Yeah, it's a cool bar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Ben?
Well,
you go to a lot of shows too. You're you're a fellow
and
live music aficionado.
I like a lot of local music, and some of the biggest, like most special music concert moments that I can recall are like from local shows that I saw. There's two that really stuck out in my mind. I went to a Adam and Kizzy album release show. I don't know if you remember them, a husband and wife duo that used to be based in Oklahoma City, but now they've moved to Los Angeles. But they come back every now and then. Anyway, they did a really special show. They do like a lot of like live. They'll do like live sampling and stuff, and just some of the material on their album. That album was really emotional, and it was just they got like choked up while they were performing. It was just a great atmosphere in there. The second one I thought of was I went to the release concert, the official concert of Fire in Little Africa in Tulsa.
Oh wow!
Yes, in 2020. So this was
cool.
On the 100th anniversary.
In 2020.
Yes, and on the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. In 2020, like in Greenwood, them performing this like really dynamic album, like it was just like goosebumps there.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That reminds me of one that I forgot, which is the Woody Guthrie 100th birthday show at the Tulsa Theater. I got to go to that. And that was like Roseanne Cash and Springsteen and Jackson Brown. And it was awesome. It was awesome. The funnest part, though, was when the Flaming Lips were doing a Woody Guthrie song and somebody in the audience just goes, "That's not Woody!" like that real loud.
Okay.
Was he aware that he is dead?
We were not expecting Woody to show up that evening.
Yeah, it was really funny.
What about behind the camera here, Chris Cam?
It's so hard for me to choose, but Nathan reminded me of one. I'm not
Sheena
even
Easton at the Lloyd Noble, the Lloyd Noble Center, 1983.
No, I did see MC Hammer. No, I was at a Flaming Lips concert at the zoo in the early 2000s, and they were like in the big bowls, and they went out in the audience and stuff.
It's probably the same one.
I'm not a fan. No. But that concert was a spectacle. It was amazing, and I'm so glad I got to go. Yeah. And I mean, I can't.
They're worth seeing live, no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, the Blue Door, I saw Kevin Welch, saw Jimmy LaFave. I've talked about that before. I mean, but one that sticks out, and you guys are going to laugh because none of you were born, but I was at the first Rocklahoma in 1982 or 83, and I saw Van Halen, and it was just
Oklahoma is that old?
Oh, it's
well, they just had one. It was in Norman. It was at the football stadium, and then years and years later, they kind of revived it to what it is now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was probably 20 years in between there.
Was that Van Halen with Sammy Hagar?
No, it's David Lee Roth.
I have a T-shirt from that Rocklahoma that I got at the Orange Peel on Northwestern.
Oh yeah,
antique shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then
cool.
the other concert that I saw that was just a spectacle, and ironically, it was at OU Stadium too. Was I saw U2 whenever they were there.
That was a great show. Oh my gosh, where they built that whole giant... I have the T-shirt from that's got the map of the stadium on the back of it. Yeah, that was an absolutely unbelievable show.
The song Elevation that they played, it's the best song I've ever seen in concert. It was amazing. Yeah. It was like, ever how many people there were all in unison. And then, oh, it's not in Oklahoma, never mind. I'm done.
Yeah. Keep it in the state, please. Yeah. Well, if you have your own fantastic show that sticks out to you that you saw here in Oklahoma, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And we will be right back after a quick mid-show ad break. In Oklahoma, arts play an essential role in bringing communities together, enhancing quality of life for Oklahomans, and positively impacting our economy. The Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition is a nonprofit that helps develop the Oklahoma visual arts community through education, promotion, connection, and funding. Since 1988, OVAC has worked closely with Oklahoma artists, educators, organizations, and communities to ensure visibility and opportunity while promoting public interest in the arts across the state. To learn more about how the Oklahoma Visual Arts Coalition supports artists and to personally contribute to a growing Oklahoma arts scene, visit ovac-ok.org or follow OVAC on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. All right, so you know what time it is? It is Podvent time. This is where we go through the travelok.com event calendar, pick out a few of our favorite gyms. Is there anyone who'd like to go first?
I'll go first because it gets to follow on from what we were talking about earlier about our favorite concerts, because I think some people might be about to have one of their good Oklahoma concerts.
That's true. I think I know where you're going.
Because the Pixies are going to be at the Zoo Amphitheater in Oklahoma City with openers Spoon and Phaser Days. So all my fellow Gen Xers, dust off the Doc Martens. Because it's really exciting. Pixies, they're one of I love them so much. I don't know anybody who lived through the late 80s and early 90s who doesn't love the Pixies. They're great. Surfer Rosa, Doolittle, just classic albums and songs. So this is going to be Thursday, September 4th. Doors at 5, show at 6:30. Tickets are anywhere from, so I found seats on the lawn for just under $40, or just under $50, sorry, about $47. And then the most expensive ones I could find were kind of down front, and they were about $200. So that's about your price range. So not too bad. I think I'm going to go.
Bad for a legacy band.
Yeah, right? Yeah. There's also, this is the most rock and roll thing I've ever heard. This makes me crazy, actually, as a Gen Xer, but there is a $20 Fast Pass. If you just don't feel like waiting in line quite as long as everybody else, you can buy your way around the line. It doesn't feel very Gen X to me, but I say, you know what, support the Zoo Amp and go do it. If you don't know, they've had a glow up recently. They've got new seats and their bathrooms are great, by the way. They're so nice now. So that place has really gotten some big improvements lately. So that's going to be Thursday, September 4th. Doors at 5, show at 6:30. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey,
I've never seen Spoon live, but I've always heard they're good live. Yeah, so.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And Phaser Days, I don't know them, but I will. I'll go give them a listen before I go.
Your new favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. All right. Very cool. Carly, what's your event this time?
My event can be summed up in 2 words. Miniature horses.
Oh, yeah.
Need I say more? Honestly. No, I guess I'll tell you some more. So it's the American Miniature Horse Registry National Show, and it is going to be at Tulsa Expo Square in Tulsa from September 4th through the 13th. So there's so many days of miniature horses.
Yes.
It's amazing. It has free admission, so that's really cool. You can go look at horses for free. It's always fun. There's going to be 1,500 of them.
Whoa, and that's more than I would have guessed.
So many horses. And they're going to be jumping.
They're miniature?
Miniature horses. Jumping and showing showmanship. I don't know what the verb form of that would be. They're going to be jumping over obstacles and fancy turnaround and roadster and Roman chariots. They're going to be guiding Roman chariots in costumes, people. I mean, Can you afford to miss this? I don't think so.
No, you absolutely cannot.
If you need more information than that, for some reason, you can go to shetlandminiature.com/AMHR nationals, and you can find all of the info that you need. But there's going to be many days of events, and so even if you're busy the rest of the time, pop by and watch and like little horses do some stuff and just
that sounds really fun. Teensy Trotters. That sounds really fun.
I would love to see the miniature horses because I went to that the Clydesdale Ranch.
So the opposite.
Oh yeah,
I know. And those were so
the
huge,
big
they
ones.
scared me.
You know,
I don't know why as you were describing that, I was picturing all the miniature horses Voltron combining into one big giant miniature horse.
I think they can do that.
So,
can they?
Scientific fact.
Something that I have also noticed of hanging around with miniature horses is
Which
like
you do a lot.
I do all the time, literally every weekend. But they are like dog. You know how big dogs tend to have a more chill personality than little dogs?
Yes.
Horses are kind of the same way.
Okay,
so
interesting.
definitely, you never want to pet a random dog, but you definitely don't want to pet a random miniature horse.
I get the
mini
psychology
horses
there.
have attitude.
Yes, they do.
And they bite.
Yeah, they're sassy.
They're cute though.
They're
so
cute.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Because like the smaller animals, like they have more to be nervous about.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean horses are prey animals, right? They're vegetarians, so they don't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a hard way to live life.
it would be.
I think. Anyway,
None of these miniature horses will be prey, though. Just so
No.
just
These
so we're
miniature
clear.
horses are too busy dressing up.
yeah,
Love
yeah.
'em.
for sure.
Yeah.
Megan, what is your event?
Well, the Fall Rock Swap.
Yes.
That is my
Tell
event.
us about it.
It is happening September 6th at the Pontotoc County Agriplex. Am I saying that? Was it
It
Pontotoc?
sounds right.
Okay. Okay. I was not sure. But that is where it is happening, and that place is in Ada. And the admission is free, and this is being put on by the Ada Gem Mineral and Fossil Club from 10 to 4. Again, on September 6th. And I love the description. They say they will have rough rocks, old rocks, polished rocks, sparkly rocks, cut rocks, colorful rocks, and more.
Aren't all rocks
So many
old?
kinds of rocks.
That was my favorite one, was the specifying that they would have old rocks. Because I too was like, are rocks not all very old, but whatever.
I would like to see the newest rocks.
Yeah, like it's
became a rock.
I like rocks in general. Everywhere I go, I'm just like picking up. I come back from trips with rocks. I give people rocks. Like I just
These things are always really fun.
Yeah. I deal in rocks, but not as like any kind of professional. And it also says, I know that I'm mispronouncing this, but lapidarists
I think that is right.
may be present. And it says they may be present, so there's no guarantee they're gonna be
now,
there.
what is this? I don't know this.
Lapidarists?
It's the people with the little thing, and they look at the rocks and decide how good quality they are.
okay.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
that's what they are.
I wrote that down,
Some
and then I
knowledgeable
forgot
people.
to look into what it meant
You can
before
eat
I
rocks
started
evaluated.
reading this.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So you can bring your stones. You can look at other people's. It's just gonna be a big old rock fest. And if you want more information, you will not find a website, but there is a telephone number. There are 2 telephone numbers I found, so I'm gonna give you both of them. One is 479-254-0894, and that number belongs to Delane Cox. And then there is another number that is 405-609-0312. So between those 2 numbers, you should be able to find some more information. I think it sounds really fun.
That does sound fun.
I love minerals.
I love rocks.
We've got some cool rocks in our September-October issue, which is out.
Yes, we do. Fossils.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah.
fossils
Be
that
more
look really neat.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's more where that came
From
That's right.
Andalus Artisan in Moore, which is a very, very cool shop if you need a gift for somebody.
We are
Yeah.
rock
I
enthusiasts.
was like doing some of my own, not window shopping, but paid shopping on our marketplace. Yeah.
What about you, Ben? What is
my
your
event
calendar
is
event?
called the Jesse James Festival in Cement, Oklahoma. And so Jesse James is, of course, the world famous outlaw, perhaps most known for being assassinated by that coward, Robert Ford. The first question you might have is, where is Cement, Oklahoma? And it's about 30 minutes southwest of Chickasha. So that's where it is, little town in southwestern Oklahoma. The second question you might have is, what is Cement's, how are they tied to Jesse James? And so the legend goes that Jesse James had some treasure or some loot buried out in the Rocky Hills out by Cement, and Jesse James was known for roaming the Rocky Hills of western Oklahoma. And also his brother lived nearby in Fletcher, the town of Fletcher. So several connections there to Jesse James. So it's really, they have an action-packed day planned. And I'm actually going to go through their whole flyer, everything they list on their flyer here. It just disappeared on my Facebook. Oh my gosh.
I do have a question for
Yes,
the
buy me some
residents of this town. Do you prefer cement or cement?
Cement.
Cement. I'm not asking you, Megan. I'm asking the people that live there, which they prefer.
I've been to their Opry.
Yeah, they have
The
She
Cement
knows.
Opry.
Yeah,
That's
the
nice.
Cement Opry. Cement. It's
Cement?
cement. Cement.
I don't know.
You say cement?
people. Please let me know.
What do you
Leave
think?
it in
You
the
say
comments.
cement?
We
It
need
doesn't
some-
matter how I I say it. I want to know how the residents of the town say it.
Oh, okay.
It seems like for most of the town names, it's like how I wouldn't guess to say it. So that's why it says cement. But I don't know. Yeah.
Cement.
I knew someone from Durant who, when I called it Durant, he got mad and said, "It's not Durant, it's Durant." And I was like, "That's what I usually call it anyway."
I think it's probably not universal within the town. But before we go too far off the rails, I do want to read.
Jesse James Festival.
I do want to read. All right, so they've got music. I love music. Drink, you need drink. Food, you need that too. Vendors, you love to see vendors. This one's interesting, belly dancers. Now, I don't know how the belly dancers tie in to Jesse James, but I know that he wouldn't complain if he saw that.
No, they're part of a festive atmosphere.
I think it
Belly
works.
dancers and food trucks are at every Oklahoma
Yes.
festival.
Yeah. Reenactments. I mean, I love a good reenactment, and I will boo loudly if that sniveling coward Robert Ford comes onto the show because we don't like him. Car and motorcycle show. Jesse James, he probably wouldn't know that, but I think he would be a car, hot rod, and motorcycle guy. A poker run, you can't beat that. And also a street dance at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's
I've
fun.
already talked about my love of street dancing here on the show.
Nice.
So, yeah, it sounds like a fantastic time. September 6th in Cement, Oklahoma.
That's fun.
Yes. It is a lot of fun. And it also takes us to the end portion of our show where we give out the star of the show. Carly Straw? Whoa, look at
I
this.
would like to point out that this is not moonshine. It's water with an energy drink in it. And I don't know why my straw is so tall. It just is.
Well, that is a cool straw.
We will.
It will definitely not end up in the nostril of a sea turtle. So that's a good plus. I don't have a star of the show picked out, but it's got to be Cirque du Soleil for sure.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Those
Yeah.
people.
You're just going to go with the straw.
I
Yes.
would love to know their stretching routines because wow.
Yeah,
The
right?
athleticism, I know Nathan you already said it, but
Unbelievable.
it's worth
No,
repeating. It's amazing.
It is. It really
Also,
is. And
go ahead.
and the combined with the costumes, it's just such a spectacle. It's so fun.
We are doing a ticket giveaway for the OVO show coming up. So we mentioned it in the interview, but check social media. That's where you'll find the information for that. So with that out of the way, that's all we've got for you this week. And this has been the show known from here to Owasso, home of the Airtopia Adventure Park, as the Oklahoma Today podcast. Head to oklahomatoday.com or pick up our latest issue on newsstands right now. Send your feedback to oktpod@travelok.com. We'll talk to you again next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Carly needs to finish her moonshine.